which is mainly these questions are mainly based in CET, CMAT, and NMAT exams. So we'll start with the basics first. So directions, as we all know, there are four directions. So pointing out north, south, west, east. So this is the format of how we draw all the four directions. So it is nothing but four quadrant: north, south, west, and east. So this line represent northeast, this will represent northwest, this will represent southeast, and this will represent southwest. So whenever it is said that some people or some point is pointing towards north, and we have to indicate left and right, always remember pointing towards north is simply pointing towards your the screen or notepad which you are referring to. So this is a line, suppose, and you are following north, so it is exactly the same as the direction you are facing, that is left over here, right over here. And whenever we talk about south, it's exactly opposite. So it is right and it is left. So always remember, for north it is the same as we are referring to any screen or notepad or any note book we are writing down to, it will be the similar. And for south it is always opposite, that is right over here and left over here. And the basic being north, south, east, and west in the four quadrant directions. So I hope that's clear. It was just the basic. So let us start with the questions, because there are no formulas or any other things regarding this topic, it's just the basic logic. So first, we'll start with Ali was uh, so let us keep a point over here. Always remember that whenever you are starting with such questions regarding towards east, towards west, always remember that you are, or the person who is been referred is always at the midpoint, and he will start his journey from so and so point. So let's move on to the question number one. So Ali was walking towards east. So we all know east is nothing but this point, this line. Okay, from here it will obviously go here east, and he walked 35 meters. Okay, so now after that he turned to his right and walked 20 meters. So pointing towards this direction. So here it will be left and here it will be right. So he turned to his right and walked 20 meters. He walks again 20 meters. So now he's facing south. Okay, now again he turned to his right and walked 35 meters. As we know, for south it is exactly opposite of what we usually refer to. So he will walk again towards this point. So this will be again 35 meters. 35. Now the left being over here, right being over here. And finally, he turned to his left and walked 20 meters. So he again walks down 20 meters. So now what the question they are asking, how far is he from his starting point? So if you look at this, the original point was over here. So let us say this was X, the original point, and now he has walked around. If you look, this is similar. Okay, this is parallel. This line from X to this point is nothing but parallel. It forms a rectangle. So now this total 20 meters and the rest final 20 meters. So this measures around 40 meters. So the distance between his first that initial point and the final point is 40 meters. And now if it has been asked which direction is he facing, or which direction he is from his initial point, so it will be south. So if you look north, south, west, east, he started from here and now he's right now at the south, and the direction he is facing is also south. So the answer is 40 meters south. We'll move on to the next question. This is also a similar question. You can take a 1 minute time for this to solve and we can try it again. So Ranveer walks 30 meters north. So considering Ranveer as a this as his initial point, he walked towards north. So referring to the map given over here, the direction, sorry. So 30 meters in north. So let us say this is 30 north. So when he is facing north, this will be his left, this will be his right. Okay, he turns left and walks 30. So now he turns left and walks 30 more. Similarly, now he is facing west. Now left will be on this side and right will be on this side. Now he walks 60 meters. Again left 60 meters, exactly twice of this. Okay, exactly twice of this, 60 meters. Now as he is facing south, this will be right, this will be left. Okay, once you start practicing, the right and left thing will be becomes very easy to remember. He now walks 70 meter. So now he will walk 70 meter. That means if you look this parallel lines, this is somewhat 30-30 equivalent. Okay, and now he will walk 40 more. Okay, considering the parallel lines. Now he walks and he stops. Then he turns left again. So again this will be his left, this will be his right, as he's facing east. So now he walks 60 again. Okay, 60 again, and then he stops. Okay, then he stops. So then he stops. So now if you look, the question is how far in meter is he from his starting point. So his starting point was this, okay, and this is the distance. We can draw a right angle triangle. So this is 40, the parallel, exactly parallel lines, parallel distance. And if you look over this, this is exactly divided, as we divided it in the initial part, 30 and 30. So this is first part, this is second part. So now 30 and 40, that is 3 and 4, these are triplets. So the triplets are nothing but 3, 4, 5. If you put the formula, that is 30 square plus 40 square, or 3 squares plus 4 square, you will get the hypotenuse as 50 or 5, just to consider it, just to assume it in a simple way. So this is 50 meters. So the distance right now is 50 meters, and the direction he is facing from his initial. So if his initial was this point and now he is over here, so the direction at which he is from his initial point is northeast. Northeast. I hope it was clear. If there are any doubts, please let me know. Similarly, the other question you can take a minute or two. Okay, so let's start. Shweta moved towards the southeast. So southeast means indicating this line. Okay, this line. So we'll consider Shweta was at this X point and she moved towards southeast. Okay, indicating this as per this. Now again she is at south, so the right will be over this and left will be over here, so quite the opposite. Now she turns west. So west, if we see, west is towards this, the right side of the southeast. So at first point she travels 7 kilometers. Now she turns towards southeast and then travels 14 kilometers towards west. This is 14 kilometers. Okay. Now she now moves to 7 kilometers towards northwest. So northwest, if you look, northwest will be this line. So northwest, so exactly it will be parallel line to the first one. Okay. And how much kilometers she goes in northwest? It will be 7 kilometers. And finally, as she is in north, this will be left for her, this will be right for her. She finally 4 kilometers towards east. So 4 kilometers towards east. East means this direction. Okay, this is east. This she travels how many kilometers? 4 kilometers. She travels 4 kilometers. Okay. So now this is nothing but a parallelogram image. Okay. So this direction image is of a parallelogram. So which means if these two sides are equal, okay, if these two parallel sides are equal, then this distance is also going to be the same. So that means this will be 10 kilometer from her initial point. So the question asked is, what is the least distance in kilometer that she should travel? So least distance is always traveled in a straight line without any turns. So the answer is 10 kilometers. And in which direction, if it is asked in which direction is her initial or the starting point from her final point, so it will be in the east direction. So the answer will be 10 kilometers east. Let's move on to the next question. You can take a minute or two to solve this. So let us start with this question. So will first line is A is to the east of K, which is to the north of T. Okay. So we'll break down the first line. A is to the east of K. Okay. So this is your north, south, west, and east. So A is to the east of K. So suppose K is over here, then A has to be over here towards the east. Okay. Towards the east. This is your point number one. Now, next is K. K, which is to the north of T. So, it is nothing but the statements continues with K. K, which is to the north of T. So, to be in the north of T, which means it will be the on the upper side of T. So, this will be north. This is your second point. Now, third point, if O is to the south of T. So, T is over here. So, south will be towards its down. So, this will be O. This will be south. Okay. So the question asked is, then in which relative direction to O is A? So to O is A. Sorry, then in which direction relative to A is O? So this is the direction. So this line, particularly, if you look at the graph, this line indicates southwest. So the answer is southwest of A. Southwest of A. Next question. You can take 2 minutes to solve this. Similar strategy. Go line by line and break down. So it will be easy for you to correlate all the directions. Okay, so let us start with this question. Village S is to the left of village P. Okay, so let's consider it to be a general direction question. So let's say north, west, east, and south. So village S is to the left of village P. So if this is P and towards this left is S, so this is point 1. Now village R is to the east of village Q. So village R, if this is Q, this will be its east. Okay, east. So village R, so this is point 2. So village Q is to the north of village P. So let us now combine these two statements. So what does the statement number 3 says? That village Q is to the north of village P. So village Q is to the north. So that means it has to be on the upper direction. And Q and R has to be this. So this is the left, as it was said, that village S is to the left, and this is east. And this will be its north direction. So the question asked over here is, where is village S with respect to village R? So again, this is nothing but a direction like this. Okay. So direction like this, it has to be southwest. So the answer is southwest. Let's move on to the next question. You can take 2 minutes time to solve this one. So this is basically some certain symbols are given, and those certain symbols will indicate a certain direction sense. So point number one, that a into or a multiplied by to b means a is to the south of b. So which means if this multiplication symbol represent a is to the south of b, which means a is to the south of b, so south will be here. So this is point one. So plus over here means a is to the north of b. So if b is over here, so it's north, this will indicate that. And percent, okay, so percent is nothing but a is to the east of b. So if this is b, okay, this is east, okay, this is a. So this is one term, this is the other, okay. And finally a minus b, that which means a is to the, okay, so this is minus sign. That is a is to the west of b. So if this is b, towards this west will be a. So these are 4 points, and on the similar basis we have to solve this. So p percent q, p percent q, which means p percent q. Okay, this is first point. So second is q plus r, q plus r. Okay, let's try this. Q plus r. Okay, so which means q plus r. This will be over like this, as q plus r means towards the north. Okay, so a plus r, and this is q plus r. And then we have the next is r minus s. So r minus s, which is towards, okay, s. So now what they have asked is where is s with respect to p. Okay, so first statement was p percent q, which means which means a is to the east of b. That means a is to the east of b. That means q, p percent q. So p is to the east of q. Okay. So now second point was q plus r. So plus r means a is to the north of b. That means q is to the north of r. And the other point will be s. Okay. So r minus s. So r minus s is nothing but a is to the west of b. That means r is to the west of s. So this. So if you look down, we don't have a certain kilometers or numbers to determine if these lines are equal or not. So first point, if you see, this is directly towards the south. So the first comment we can give that it can be south. So we definitely know that it will be in the south, but we don't know if the kilometers. So let us suppose if this is 5 kilometers and this is 3 kilometers, this particular line. So which means this s will shift towards the left, with towards the left, which will make it nothing but towards the southwest. Okay, and if this line, particular line, if it is more than 5 kilometers, considering this line to be 5 kilometers, so this s will move towards the right, which will make it direction towards southwest. So the definite answer is south. Okay, so the definite answer is south. But if there is no kilometers mentioned, okay, so if there is no kilometers mentioned, so we cannot determine it to be exact in the south. If all the kilometers are same, then we can definitely say that it will be in south. But in which direction we cannot say, if there are no kilometers or distance measurement given. So the answer will be in such cases it will be cannot be determined, cannot be determined. Okay, right. So let's move on to the next question. You can try this. So uh, let's start with this question. So from his house, so let us say this is house of Prashant. Okay, went 15 meter towards north. Okay, so he went 15 meters towards north. Then he turned west. So as he was facing north direction, so west for him will be nothing but his left direction. So he turned west and covered 10 meters. So he turned west and covered 10 meters. Then he turned south. South. Okay, he covers 5 meters. Okay. Finally turning to his east. So now turning to his east. Okay. So finally turning to the east. Okay. To the east. Okay. He covers 10 meters. Okay. So he will be back at this line. Okay. 10 meters. So now they have asked in which direction is he from his house and at what distance. So the total line was of 15 meters. And he has already got a gap of 5. Okay. So the rest will be 10 meters. And looking at the direction, he is in the north direction from his house. So the answer is 10 meters north. You can try this one. These questions are based on a wrong direction. So basically, the directions have been changed in this question due to some accident or due or some way. The directions are changed. So let us try to look at this. So let us suppose this is our normal way of indicating the directions. So suppose this becomes north. Okay, so which means the upper direction, that is which is north, has moved towards the east. So which means this direction has moved towards here. So all the quadrants will move one by one place. Okay, so if this becomes north, so this will become east, this will become south, and this will become west. So this is how, in general, the wrong directions are supposed to be. So if they are moved by two places, so similarly, it will also be moved by two places. So let us look at the question. A signpost is erected at a crossing due to an accident in such a way that the direction which was originally shown as east now shown as south. Okay, so which means these directions are going to the upper way. So we have north, west, east, and south. Okay, so now which was originally shown as east, now it is shown as south. So if this becomes south, so which means every direction will go in anti-clockwise manner. Okay, so this will become east, this will become north, and this will become west. Okay, so now a passerby walks in the wrong direction thinking that it is west. Okay, in which direction he is actually walking. So now as the directions have been changed, and he is thinking that he is walking towards west direction, which was supposed to be this direction, but now as the signs are changed, he is walking towards the direction thinking that it will be west. So he is walking towards the original direction of south. So the answer will be south direction, because the direction he is walking, he thinks that it is west. Okay, so which means he's walking in the wrong direction. So the wrong direction according to our new direction sense is nothing but south. So he's walking towards south. So final question for today. Okay, so let us start with this question. So always remember the okay, always remember for the sunrise and sunset questions. Okay, so the sunrise takes place from east and the sunset takes place at west. Okay, always remember this. Uh, Certain questions are asked on the basis of sunrise and sunset with respect to the shadows which are felt. Okay, so now let us start with this question. So this is your north, south, west, and east. Okay, one evening, Pratik and Ankita were looking into each other's eyes. Pratik's shadow fell exactly to his left side. So this is north, south, west, and east. So which means what? First of all, the major point over here is evening. So which means the sun will be at west. So if sun rays are towards this position, that means a person standing over here. So his shadow will be fell on this side. Okay. Similarly, this side, which means the person facing north will have his shadow on the right side, and the person facing south will have his shadow on left side. Okay. So now, similarly, what they are asking is Pratik's shadow fell exactly to his left side. So this means this has to be Pratik. Okay, the shadow on left side, which means this has to be Pratik. And as they were looking into each other's eyes, which means they were sitting opposite to each other, so Ankita has to be over here. Okay, so now if Ankita is over here, which means Ankita is facing north direction. Okay, so this was simple. Just remember that for sunrise, if it is sunrise, then it has to be east, and if it is sunset, then it has to be west. Okay, so for this chapter, direction sense, we have almost completed all the major concepts with respect to direction, changes in direction. We have firstly we have completed distance based question, then final direction question. So after that, combination of distance and direction considering 2 to 3 points, and also considering changes in direction as well as sunrise and sunset question. So that's it all, that's all for direction sense. So we'll also be having lectures on Sunday as well as on Saturdays, which won't be live. So to join those lectures as well, you can contact us at the given details. Okay. So you can join our batches for CET and MAT for 24 and 25. Okay. So if there's any doubt, please let us know in the chat box. We'll revert back to those. So that's it for today. Thank you, everyone.